So, guys, bad news. Fiziev's out. Fiziev has become one of my favorite guys to watch, and I think that you guys could relate to that. I went back where he got on my radar was the night that he fought Bobby Green, and it was controversial, but it was wonderful. The whole thing was awesome. Fiziev had called out Kevin Lee one time. He made his own video. He's in the woods. He's looking for Kevin Lee. It doesn't matter whether you saw it or not. He was doing something. He was offering something, and then it turns out the guy can get down. He can take a punch. He can give a punch. I love seeing Fiziev fight. So Fiziev is out for now, COVID. He didn't need to release that information to us. He was nice enough, so let's keep some good thoughts in mind for him. Brings you to the next point, though. He has got a co-main event spot this Saturday, which means RDA has a co-main event spot this Saturday. Now, if I was to predict for you what's going to happen, that entire fight's going to get scrapped. Somebody's going to get moved up, and we'll revisit this down the road. It shouldn't. A co-main event spot of a pay-per-view is a very coveted position that's hard to come by, and the only reason that RDA will be left without a dance partner is because nobody's got the balls to go do it. Period. The guys within the organization don't want to do it. It's a hard fight. I wasn't ready. And the guys that are swearing to God, begging anybody with a lifeline to the second floor at the UFC office just to get a contract is also going to say the same thing. I'm not ready. They should be lighting up those matchmakers right now, even if you know the answer is going to be no. No, I'm not going to walk in on day one to a co-main event spot, even though it's happened before. It's exactly what my teammate Pat Cummings did. It is possible. You get on Mick Maynard's, you get on Sean Shelby's radar. They now see what kind of a guy you are. If they call you and you're bluffing, you better be willing to take it. But if they tell you, no, you're not a big enough name, and this is a co-main event of a pay-per-view, but thank you, they're going to mean it. They're really going to mean, thank you. That was a cool move. There was no better way into this business than to be ready on short notice. But let's give those guys a pass, because a lot of those guys truly are hungry, and they're sincere, and they just don't know who to call. They just don't know the phone number over there. They just don't have an email address. Fair enough. What about the guys who are there? What about these guys at 170 that were just banging a drum a minute ago that they should be in a world title fight with Kamaru Usman? Where'd they go? The world title fight with Usman is busy, and it's later, and it's gone to Leon. You could slide right into a co-main event spot of what's going to go down as the biggest pay-per-view of 2022. You could do that, but you didn't do that. You were not going to do that. I'm not going to be wrong on this. I'm not going to have egg on my face. None of you are going to step up and do it. And you're not going to do it not because you're scared of RDA, not because the lights are too bright, not because you don't want to be in Vegas and you don't want to be part of the big show. You're not going to do it all for the same reason. You're not ready. Your weight's too far out. You haven't been in the gym. Too much to risk. It's off-brand. I mean, we can go through it till we're blue in the face. I'm not asking, is there a reason? I trust that there's 20 different reasons. The greats find that one. The hungry guy finds that one. We got welterweights up and down the roster that are booked out for the next 4 months right now that are in a level of shape, that do have their paperwork in place, that could catch a flight out to Las Vegas and be there. But they're going to have some other reason. Well, I'm planning for this guy. I've already got a fight, or I'm already busy. Whatever. It's not. Is it a co-main event? Do you have a co-main event? Do you have a fight with a former world champion? Are you going to jerk the curtain for the biggest fight of 2022? Because if you don't, the matchmaker should have heard from you. And I know that they didn't. I know they didn't. I've never been in a sport with more fake tough guys in my life. All you 170-pounders who did not grab your phone and try to get that fight go into that category. And you can laugh, and you can put your nose down, and you can say, this is just Chael over here pandering. It's true. It's 100% true. You're not ready. You get called to work 3 times. My father was a plumber. Hard job. He never missed work because he didn't feel good, and it's not that he didn't feel great every day. He didn't miss work because of it. I would never disrespect my father being in an organization where I only get called 3 days a year by telling him, no, I just want to do it. I have a code of honor, but this isn't about me. It's about you. This is the opportunity that you want. If you can beat a former world champion, the history of this sport says you get to go fight for a world championship. That's what it says. The rules are very different when it's RDA. RDA doesn't have this placement because he's got the most beautiful record over the last couple of years. He's got this placement, and he's always going to have it because he's the champion of the world. It's a co-main event on a pay-per-view. It checks every box you could ever imagine, and not to mention a co-main event means it's 15 minutes. If you really want to be champion of the world, you're in 5-round shape at all times. And sure, you could use a few weeks and you could peak and you could polish that up. I don't go against the training camps. But if you're in striking distance of 25, which you say you want to be a star, that means you're a main event. You say you want to be a champion, that means you're fighting for 25. Then you're always ready for 15. There's not a day of your life, if you truly are planning to be a main event champion, there's not a day of your life you're not ready for 3 rounds. But you're not ready, and it's why you didn't take the fight. You're not in the organization. But there's a reason you're not on the radar of the matchmakers. There's a reason when they're looking for another welterweight, they won't be calling you. They'll be calling whatever guy called them and said, I'm ready, I'm in. Put me 4 days notice is 3 days too many. Let's fight. That's who's going to get the nod. You want a whole bunch of fights on the little regional scene? So did everybody else. You got a little belt that some promoter ordered from thering.com for $300. So did 10 other guys. What is going to separate you? What's going to put you apart? What do you think you're going to do with your mouth? You'll be up there, you're going to be funnier than Conor McGregor? Put on a little bow tie, maybe even put a tattoo on your face? Think that's never been done? You're going to wear sunglasses to an indoor press conference. Is that your big move? Are you one of those guys that show up with sunglasses on? Like, oh my God, that's a cool thing right there. You want to be different, do something different. Fake it till you make it. They're not going to put you in on short notice. Let them know you're ready. Let them know you want to go in. If they call your bluff, you cut your arm off if you have to. Figurative, of course. But here we are. RDA, former champion of the world, co-main event. If RDA stays on that card, the only chance that I'm wrong and RDA stays on the card is some other welterweight that's already on the card gets pulled up. I don't think that's going to happen. I think RDA is going to get bumped. I think you guys that don't have the spot that you want in the UFC, I think you don't deserve it. I think you guys that aren't signed to the UFC, this is the litmus test right here. Did you contact somebody to contact them? If you couldn't find their number, their email, I give you a full pass. But there's something known as social media. And if you're not 2 phone calls away from the top floor at the UFC at all times, you got bad management. If you went for that shot, I'll put you over. I'll shine you up, and I hope that you get in there someday. But you didn't. You didn't. Because you weren't ready. Call Bobby Green.